Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Press for Truth TV. Thanks for tuning in once again. We have a very special show lined up for you today. We're going to be speaking with Alex Jones. Alex, of course, is a radio host based out of Austin, Texas. He's a documentary filmmaker and, of course, owner and operator of PrisonPlanet.com and Infowars.com. Alex, thank you so much for joining us here today at Press for Truth TV.
Dan, it's great to be here with you.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to ask you, first of all, considering you are the head honcho, I would say the kingpin in the field of alternative media, I was curious as to your opinion on the current state of the mainstream media versus the independent media, because it seems that less and less people are tuning into their television sets to get information these days, and more people are going online to get informed. So I was curious as to your opinion about the current state of the info war.
Well, things are really in flux, and the future architecture of things is being decided. So the system would like to come in and obviously using copyright, using prior restraint, using internet IDs to track everything you do, to then ban you off the internet really for no reason, to start curtailing. And they're separately trying to end net neutrality. The big Internet 2 consortium has forever been selling a takeover of the web as an innovation, as the latest, greatest thing, where just big government, major corporations, and universities will basically be the new upgrades to the web, and all the new corporate devices that are put out, the new computers, the smartphones, will only be designed to work on that new internet. And the quote old internet will be more and more regulated, more and more controlled, more and more taxed, and then we'll just be allowed to go into disrepair. And then you're forced onto the new internet that's just a glorified, but basically interactive cable box type system. So the establishment always built the internet, and to be a web, to be a big NSA, predictive, over the horizon, really crystal ball system. But the people have seized control of it quicker than they thought. So they're behind schedule bringing in their censorship. They thought that the people wouldn't be as effective using the web as we've been. And so as the dinosaur press loses viewers and ratings, and as that hemorrhaging accelerates to crisis level, there's a perfect storm between the old media and government and corrupt corporations to want to collude to start to censor the web and accelerate their program. The problem with that is it's not incremental enough. It wakes people up. And so whether it's SOPA or NDAA or all these wars and the torture, all of it is really illustrating to people that this is a tyranny. And because myself and so many others read the white papers, the globalist documents, because they were hubris filled and arrogant, they had actually admitted a lot of this decades ago, because we read those documents and warned people and got ridiculed up front. Back when the dinosaur media still had power, we didn't care. It was about getting the word out. Now, those time bombs we've planted, those seeds we've planted everywhere, are really sprouting, because the tyranny is like sunshine and rain to finally get people out of their comfort zone. And so that's another miscalculation by the globalist. So we're in the fight. Doesn't mean we're winning. Nobody's winning right now. It's whoever wants it most. And not only is the playing field between dinosaur media and then some of the older alternative media that was the first to be around, so it's the biggest generally, there's all these other people coming in now, also leveling the playing field even more and getting giant audiences like yourself. And that's good, because the Cass Sunstein model that we knew was going on even before he admitted it 3 years ago, the cognitive dissonance, the White House regulations are saying we'll infiltrate because we're so discredited as mainstream. We'll infiltrate as whistleblowers and conspiracy theorists, people that question and sabotage and cause infighting and put out disinfo to discredit people, because there's so many people from so many angles coming in. The diversity of the debate is developing a very detailed palette, but also smell test for people. And so really Now, because of so many different people getting involved, it's drowning out not just dinosaur media and accelerating its death, but it's accelerating the death of the trolls. All their tactics are now seen. People are getting more sophisticated as kind of this organic hive mind of humans interfacing through this system that was meant to be a control grid. It's now leveraging back against them. And so as they come in with censorship from every angle, there's too many new voices and ideas and liberty lovers combining in a non-directed but still hive mind collective that's basically an organic super brain that even their best analytical crunching systems cannot conquer and defeat. And so this is an amazing time to be alive.
Yes, I would agree. I mean, we're certainly having many victories in this current fight and this battle for the internet, having successfully shelved the PIPA bills and SOPA bills. And now, of course, we're faced with ACTA, the anti-counterfeiting trade agreement, which is going on right now. So, in regards to all that, how do you foresee the future of the internet? Because it does seem that we're at a somewhat of a crossroads right now in the direction where it can and may go. So, give us your insight into where this may lead in the coming months and years from now.
Well, it's a huge battle, as I said, and it's all in flux. It's up to us what we do. But one big wild card I didn't mention is, as you know, last year, the United States, working with Microsoft, the word is from experts, and Israel, and they tacitly admit they did this, the U.S. and Israeli government, were involved developing the Stuxnet worm that is not an internet attack system. It is meant to be injected directly into the computers, the industrial computers at the reactor sites, at the centrifuge refining sites in Iran. And then it spread to India. It spread back around through China, through Japan, and back into the U.S. And I predicted at the time, I said, it's Israel and the United States. And it wasn't hard. It's like predicting the sun will come up in the morning. And it was all part of those covert war, the assassinations, the bombings, the killings that are now admitted to be going on as well. We were conspiracy theorists to say that up front because the establishment wasn't ready to tell the slaves yet. Now they say, oh, yes, the New York Times is now confirming it is the government. But they think we're so stupid and have no memory. So they said, we need to, because of Stuxnet, we need to restrict the internet and have cybersecurity run by the Pentagon take over the web. And Homeland Security and the Pentagon were at Davos last week telling them we need to unify global standardization, which is already going on, but they're bringing that out in the open to keep us safe from terrorists in the supply chain. So it's an attempt through the architecture of the web, where even if we wake up and try to vote against tyranny, the very companies themselves implement the censorship and gobble up the internet. And that's why Google was kind of against a U.S. recording industry attack, because it was more ham-fisted. Google wants to censor things, but in a little bit slicker, more nuanced way. And so that's what other groups are doing. But you have the big wild card, to get to that point, of a false flag attack on the internet, which the Pentagon even actually talks about like we're idiots, like we don't know they're discussing launching attacks on our infrastructure. But just as Stuxnet was an internal system, they say our power plants are on the internet, our lights are on the internet, and they have all these movies where they show the bad guys using it. And it's not true. The power plants are not on the internet. The internal military bases are not on the internet. All of these systems are not on the internet. It's just all part of pure lies. And then they use their own Stuxnet to then say, let's have censorship. So there is that wild card. Also, the White House has said, and it's already starting, they're forcing alerts onto smartphones, alerts onto TVs. They're going to have video messages that cut you off and you have to watch the president. California is going to come out, they're saying, with license plates that are video images where look for this man, so it can pop up everywhere. Just a Minority Report beyond Orwell type situation is what we're facing if we don't defeat these people. And now, of course, a couple of years ago, the White House said during a flu outbreak, we may reroute all computers for a central message so there's no confusion under COG. Or we're going to have messages that pop up over the sites you're on if we say they're not trusted because they're questioning electric cars, Cass Sunstein said last week, or don't believe in man-made global warming, or think 9/11 is an inside job, or he even said, if you believe the sun is good for you, you must, and again, it's meant to be bold. They sit up there on high with little chicken necks and talk to us down and tell us in New Jersey and Arkansas and other states are passing laws that you've got to have fluoride in your water because they said so. And oh, and California passes a law. We're going to shoot your kids up with vaccines without asking you because we say so. I mean, they're really showing themselves as the thug, criminal control freaks they are, which is even better. They're going from denying all this to freaking out now and trying to intimidate us back under their control. So look for false flags on the web, everything else you can imagine. And all it's going to do is wake people up and drive people into alternative technologies and new, truly free internets. But it's going to be one hell of a battle. Because so again, the system may release a mega flu and shut the whole web down and say it's for your safety. I mean, there's so many things they can do. They've got a lot of weapons in their arsenal, they have a lot of cards in their fist, but being aware of all their tricks is half the battle.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. We're going to have to remain very vigilant on this one and keep a very close eye on it as this plays out. So we'll leave it at that for today and call it a show. I know you're a busy man, so I don't want to take too much of your time. So I want to thank you once again for joining me here today. And I just wanted to personally let you know, you've inspired millions of people, including myself, to get involved in the fight against the New World Order. So I thank you for that, and I hope to talk to you again soon, my friend.
Well, Dan, you're inspiring thousands that'll grow into millions. It's the same thing. It's ideas are bulletproof. No army can stop an idea whose time has come. Victor Hugo, and it's true. They put drugs in our water and our food because they're scared of us because we're powerful. The globalists know it, and if people become conscious. See, they're criminals that are conscious. They're scum who are conscious, know how the world really works, and choose to try to dumb us down so they can lead us off cliffs. I mean, they're a bunch of scum. They're not invincible, and we're going to defeat them. Dan, God bless you, and thanks for having me on.
You bet. We'll talk to you again soon. Take care, Alex.
Thank you.